So, very important verse. If we understand only this verse we understand, our life will be transformed. So, for the next 10 days, just meditate on this. Don't do anything. Just meditate on this verse. Every line of translation and purport Prabhupada. So in the last few verses, Krishna was explaining what is karma, what is vikarma, what is akarma, what is action in inaction, and what is inaction in action. So now following verses, Krishna is explaining what is inaction in action. So we're doing a lot of actions, but how do you avoid getting entangled? How do we convert them into inaction? Inaction means akar. And he said, Gehno karmana gati. This law of karma is very intricate, very complicated. You cannot understand this ki kaun se action ka kaun sa, what action will yield to what reaction, you cannot make out. There is one story in Puranas. Story in Puranas means it's a fact, not a mythology. So there was one very wealthy person, very proud of his wealth, like normally wealthy people are. And he has small children. So neither he made any attempt to become Krishna conscious or spiritual, nor he taught anything to his children, which is the case like in modern day. Neither parents try to become Krishna conscious, nor they encourage their children to become Krishna conscious. So in Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter, Krishna explains there are two types of people. Divine and demoniac. दो तरह के लोग होते हैं. There are two types of people. One is with demoniac mentality and one is with divine mentality. And then in this chapter, largely he is explaining demoniac. Because divine he has explained in the previous chapter. He says, Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. What is to be done, what is not to be done. Jana na vidur asura. Asuri pravritti people, they don't know what is to be done, what is. They have no idea about what is karma, karma, karma. How pure? That is the principle of life. Just enjoy. That is the principle of life.
The medical science, I think Vishal Prabhuji will tell better, but what I heard is the front portion of the brain, divine and 70%, which works backside, is a demon kind of thought process.
No, it's not. See, person can be 100% Krishna conscious, person can be 100% demon.
In a normal body composition, the front portion of the brain goes with the divine qualities and 70% goes towards the demon's thought process. So, person makes a balance.
There is nothing to balance. Balance means some demonic part, some divine part. No. 100% Krishna conscious. No demonic. Otherwise, you can't leave this material body. You can't leave even one material desire. One, only one, is enough to keep you here. Like Bharat Maharaj, thinking about deer, and he became deer. So I was telling in this chapter, there are symptoms of demoniac people. Demonic are the modern people. Because modern people generally demoniac. He says, "Uncle, what is their thought process?" Very nice verse. He says, "Idamadya maya labdham, idamadya maya labdham, imam prapse manoratham." So much wealth do I have? We count, no? Every time we keep counting. What? How much I have? How much I made in this year? And I will gain more according to my schemes. Manoratham. Whatever plans I have, whatever projects I have, whatever orders I have, I will make so much. Right? I have so much and I will make so much. Then so much is mine now and it will increase in future. Always thinking about today's bank. So I used to do myself. I had an Excel sheet. I do earlier also. Excel sheet. So every year I'll see what percentage growth. I still have that Excel sheet. So everybody does it. Yes or no? Pradeep Prabhu, आप बनाते हैं ऐसा Excel sheet के नहीं? Everybody makes it. No, how much I had, how much bank account, how much property, how much in gold, total how much asset, how much liability. Right? So this is right. आगे क्या बोलते हैं? It will increase in future more and more. I am the richest man. Many people have this thought in their own, circle of influence. They think in this society I am the richest person. Like in small children might think in this class I am the most smartest, number one. Yes or no? In let's say all architects, I am the best architect. In doctor community, I am the best doctor. Means I am the best. Yeah. So everybody think I am God in my own area of influence. Surrounded by aristocratic relatives. I shall perform sacrifices. I will do a lot of dharmic activities. I will conduct Bhagavad Gita. I will give charity. I will give. Like Bharadwaj said, no? To whom? Vamandev. Vamandev asked 3 steps. He said, I am the Ishwar of this material world. You ask anything. And Krishna didn't like it. When he said, I am the Ishwar of this material world, Krishna said, okay, let me see. And within a few moments, he was the most poorest. Krishna made him. So this mentality, Krishna doesn't like. Why? It is against our constitutional nature, our constitutional position. We should say, I am the best servant. Right? Best servant is also a matter of pride. But you can say, I will do better than anybody. This is okay. There is a healthy spiritual competition, spiritual world also. Everybody wants to serve nicely, better than another person in spiritual. That is okay. That is healthy competition. Prabhupada, you say, if you distribute so many books, I will come to your center. So, they have distributed more books, I'll go there. This is how Prabhupada used to create some healthy spiritual competition amongst different centers. But here, I shall do this, I'll give charity. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So this is the nature of modern day materialists. They have no idea. Pratimcha, nivrittimcha, kya karna chahiye, what to be done, what not to be done. So like this wealthy man, which I was talking about, he had his children. So once he went out on the road, he saw one cobbler. Cobbler matlab? Mochi. Sitting under a tree. And he is a very poor person. I should help him. He said, what? Very poor person, I should see him a lot of money. You want to help poorest person. I am a rich person. He is very poor person. He needs my help. He can't survive without me. Something like this. So he gave him some money. Every action has equal and opposite. So that cobbler became indebted to the wealthy person. Yes? Somehow now, cobbler has to serve this wealthy person. But due to overall his karmic reaction, his law, his desires, his karmas. Next life, he died, who wealthy person, and he appeared as son of cobbler. He entered into the home of his wife. And then father has to serve child selflessly. The cobbler served this wealthy man as a son. Why? Because this wealthy man once served this cobbler. So he became cobbler. And then after many years, cobbler died and son became cobbler. Who? The original wealthy person, he became cobbler. And here, wealthy man who had died earlier, his sons also grew up. So once they called this cobbler, means what? Their father. So they called this cobbler, who is actually their father, and they were also very proud, but they never got any spiritual education. Proud of their wealth, how much I had, how much I will have, I am so rich, everybody is poor, I can help. This cobbler, whose father is now like original father, he didn't do something properly. So this proud son, not son, an earlier birth son, he picked up the same shoe and started beating this cobbler, who is actually their father. Now what this poor guy did, he just gave some money to this cobbler and he's being beaten by his sons. So point being made is, you don't know what is the reaction of your action. You don't know. You cannot work out. Largely it's a function of your consciousness. External gross activities doesn't make much of a difference. What is the consciousness while doing those gross activities is what makes all the difference. There's another story in Puranas of one Brahmana and one prostitute. They used to stay, opposite to each other. The morning Brahman will come, he'll give water to son, and prostitute also will come to dry her clothing and all that. And they will see each other. Brahman will see prostitute and think, what a dirty woman. She'll think negative about that. He'll think negative about the prostitute. And prostitute thinking, such a nice person, good qualities. How fortunate he is, able to serve the Lord, give water, and I'm so unfortunate. Maybe kaun se karmon ka phal hai that I have to sell my flesh, right? So she is thinking very, she is repenting for maybe previous life karmas and appreciating this Brahmana. And this Brahmana is what is doing? He is finding faults in. His job is to show compassion. Oh, I should help her. I should, like Haridas Thakur, when this prostitute came from Haridas Thakur, he said, no, I'll go only after delivering her. I'll not go without delivering her. He stayed back in that gufa just to deliver this prostitute. He could have gone otherwise, no, he did not go. Compassion. But this Brahma is thinking, what a dirty lady she is. Now, externally, he may be offering water to, son, or externally, she may be in the profession of prostitution, but the consciousness is completely opposite. And hence, the destination was completely opposite. Brahmana stayed here, and prostitute went to spiritual world because of the perfect consciousness. So you don't know, like we were discussing the other day, Yamdutas who came to take Ajamil, they also got confused. What is karma? What is a karma? So if you try to calculate, I'll do some good activities and I'll get a good reaction next life, I'll get good higher planets or good, birth, good family, forget it. You don't know what's going to happen. Because we carry millions of lifetimes of karmas, which will come in front of us, we don't know. The only safest position is to be Krishna conscious all the time. So what reaction will come, we don't know. And in this verse, Krishna is saying, Tyaktva. Tyaktva means abandoning. Abandoning karma? No. He is not proposing abandoning. He is saying, Tyaktva karma phala asangam. So sometimes people say, if you read Bhagavad Gita, you will become Babaji. You will become renunciate. No, that is not the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. That is not the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Is saying what? Tyaktva karma phala asangam. You have to renounce attachment to the fruits of your action, not the action. But is it so easy? Everybody is working hard just because they want something. Result. Everybody is result oriented. Goal focused. Now we're talking corporate language. You have to be result oriented. Always keep your eye on the goal. There is a management principle. And Krishna is teaching what? Don't become attached to your results. So is it so easy to become detached? Okay, let's do one exercise. Please take out your pen and paper. Everybody. इस पर वीडियो ऑन कीजिए नहीं तो मैं आपको I'll put in waiting room. Sitting at home, at least you should keep your video on. If you can't come here physically, please keep your videos on unless you have some network problem. Thank you. Thank you. Palvi Mataji. Palvi Agarwal Mataji. Okay, network is poor, it is okay. Otherwise, please keep it. So, write down all your possessions. This is only for your personal. I'll not ask you to share it with you, don't worry. Write down how much is your bank balance. Write down. बाद में फाड़ देना. You can take this paper off later on. Just write down for this exercise. Honestly. Pradeep, honestly, yeah. Akan bro, where are you? Ah, yes, you're there. Please write down your how much you have, including your FDs, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. Total money you have, you carry. How much you have in share market? Write it down. If you have. How much? Mukul Prabhu, you're not writing.
We finished.
Yeah. 10 messages, no? How can your CFO be, without any bank balance? You write in your अपना mobile note. Mobile note में लिखो. Mobile में होता है. Write all your worth of property. How many crores? What is left? Sunil bro. Property आ गया, FD आ गई. How much gold? Approximate value of your gold. Neetu Mataji, पता है आपको कि नहीं? You want to ask Vishwas Prabhu ji?
I want to ask.
Okay, so you written your bank balance, FDs, share market, your property, your whatever. What else? Gold. और क्या बचा? What else left?
Car.
हाँ, your हो गया बाकी. कार वार ठीक है. कार की वैल्यू ज्यादा नहीं. If you have Mercedes, then you can write. Even Mercedes you can write. Maruti, Zen and all that don't write. So you written how much your total asset value, right? And I'm sure you don't have many liabilities. If you have, you can write down. Anita Mata, you're writing? Anita Mataji from Colombo. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mother is also writing. Now, written. Now you can see it few times. Because we're going to lose it in next moments. Okay. Now you imagine. I'm sorry, you might like it. Just imagine you have left the body. All of a sudden. You have left the body all of a sudden. Without notice. Now you are in a subtle body. Not in gross body. Subtle body. You can see all of this. You can't claim. Now think about in this life, what are you achieved, what are you lost? Write down. Write down your realizations now that everything you had is no more with you. All assets you have, all family members you had are no more with you. In one shot, everything is gone. Now think about introspectively, what did you attain in this life? What did you lose in this life? And what realizations you have?
Good memories would be left.
Memories, what memories? Write down first. Write down. Your realizations after contemplating on kya paya, kya khoya in this lifetime. So all that balance is no more yours, huh? Gone now. Gaurav, you're doing exercise? Gaurav, you're doing the exercise? Okay. हो गया? Realizations लिख लिया? सुनो बाबू, आप मैसेज चेक कर रहे हो कि लिख रहे हो?
मैं लिख रहा हूँ, कुछ मिल ही नहीं रहा, अटेंड किया मैंने तो लाइक है। मैं देख रहा हूँ क्या मिला।
Now you can't say so much of money I earned, so much bank balance I have. You know, aristocratic family members. If you're done with them, we can start sharing your realizations. So I'll ask Chandni Mata to start here. Till louder, they can also hear Mata.
Actually, there's nothing achieved by the fiction, not a lot we achieved.
So she's saying nothing I achieved.
And lost, I have wasted a lot of time, lost a lot of time on that. And if I have to talk about the material world, then I have lost relatives, lost bank balance, lost family, lost property, lost everything material that I had. Achievement, if at all, if I don't know how it feels to be in a subtle body, but if it is like this, then what I've achieved is some association, some peacefulness because of being in Krishna consciousness.
So practically attained nothing. So all that which you said 2 minutes before mine, you cannot say it is yours now. In one shot, in 1 second, it goes out of your, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Out of your reach. You cannot say no. So the only thing you can say which I'm carrying along is few moments compared to a lifetime. What have you done in Krishna is few moments only. Right? So many years we wasted already. So few moments of time remembering Krishna. Because that is eternal. That will not go. So you can say, maybe I in a lifespan of 80 years, I will spend maybe 2 months equivalent time, in remembering. So that is what I'm carrying along. Is it a good deal? Tani eh? Okay, Vishwas. But this is practical. Hypothetical, but very practical.
We started from how much we have. So there was sense of attachment already. And then when you asked that we are in subtle body and now we are thinking what we are left with, or the first thing comes into mind that how much I left for others. The second thing comes to the realization that it was never yours. It was always.
It was never mine. So his realization is, whatever I claim, it is mine. It was never mine actually. Very wonderful realization. It was never, it belonged to somebody else. Who is that else? It is Krishna. In Ishwar,
Because we cannot name it, it's his or her, because it's always moving. So it belongs to his or her.
So Krishna says, Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. Everything belongs to one person, Supreme Lord. Why? He is the origin of everything. Janmadiyasya Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. So everything originated from whom? Krishna. So he is the only owner. But we keep claiming, ये मेरा, ये मेरा, ये मेरा. तो एक शॉट के अंदर नहीं कह सकते अभी मेरा, है ना? The realization that I kept claiming this is mine, which actually belonged to Krishna. Very nice. Mukul Prabhu.
Same story, but what I got in a simple body, if I think maybe some memories of love, affection, children, family members, some appreciation from friend, relative, or society. What I got means I cannot take the material thing.
No, gone. No, that is not yours now. You say, what did you attain which you're carrying along?
If in the simple body, some memories may go with me. That is what I am saying.
Attachment देखो टूटता नहीं है. Subtle body also is okay.
And what I would have lost is could not utilize my real time energy for serving Krishna, or very short of spiritual elevations, unfulfilled dreams, which I can say.
So I had so much of time, if I think retrospectively, which I did not utilize. Yeah. Simple.
Yeah, nothing.
I gained nothing. So I actually gained nothing.
And I lost all material possessions.
I lost time. वो तो मैं थे ही नहीं, लेकिन टाइम मेरे पास था, which I could not utilize it. Whatever I'm saying I lost actually never belonged to me any time. I had time with me, which I could not utilize. शिवानी माता जी, किस तरह माता जी? हरे कृष्ण.
What is left is parents, if suffering, nobody is there in the future. Everything is left in that. But the time lies in the
So only utilization is whatever time we utilize again in Krishna consciousness or remembering, that is eternal. Neha abhikramanasho asti taptya vayu nivitte su alpam apyasyam dharmasya trayate. So, in second chapter, if you remember, we read, whatever you do spiritually is what is eternal. Everything else will become zero one day. So if you are given this life again, Shivani Mataji, suppose your life is starting from scratch. So how will you handle it differently now?
8
Huh?
8 + 8 + 8 hours.
So Mataji, if given a choice, then I will divide my 24 hours into 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours for my body, 8 hours for my job, 8 hours for Krishna. That is how I'll utilize if given a choice once again. That can start from now also. Yes or no? Mataji?
ना सब पाया बहुत कुछ है लेकिन कृष्ण के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं। इतना मतलब आपसे जुड़ के जो नॉलेज मिला है पहले कभी मिला भी नहीं था, क्योंकि हम बिल्कुल सिंपल से लाइफ जी रहे थे, पर अब बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लग रहा है कि हम जितना ज्यादा समय
तो आप बताओ, आपका जो सिंपल लाइफ है ना, वो सबसे योग्य है कृष्ण को प्राप्त कर। हम तो जटिल आदमी है। Our life has very complicated. Why? Because of high education, high wealth, high name, fame, or disqualifications for Krishna consciousness. So you are the most qualified. अभी कुछ दिन पहले हम भागवत का श्लोक कर रहे थे. You were there in the Bhagavad class day yesterday when you're discussing about Krishna with his coward boys and no. So discussing, there's a verse in Bhagavatam, the Krishna is playing with cowherd boys. There's river, Yamuna, there's nice mountains, garden, yeah, birds chirping and making very nice, wonderful sound, cows all around. So what is the purpose of everybody? What is the goal of everybody? Whether it's tree or river or mountain or forest. What is their goal? Or cowherd boys is to give pleasure to Krishna. Because they have this mindset, they are with Krishna.
Yeah.
They are with Krishna. Because they have this mindset of only serving Krishna, they are with Krishna. There is no mention of a demon playing with Krishna. Simple cowherd boys. So जितने सरल है ना, उतने ज्यादा योग्य हैं. And then we're discussing Krishna never loved, so-called modern lifestyle. His life was very simple. Village, cows, land, forest, gardens, birds, calves. Sometimes we say simple living means low standard of living. Sometimes we say what? When you say simple living, high thinking, then somebody low standard. Simple living actually is the highest standard of living. You get fresh air, you get fresh water, you get fresh pesticide-free food, you get nice gardens all around, you get cows to play, you get nice birds. Yes or no? Everything is fresh. And in city life, modern life, you don't get fresh air, you don't get fresh water, you get pesticide-infected food. Yes or no? All day you are busy on the road, traveling, especially in Bombay, Delhi. You don't have time. You may have a lot of money, but no time to enjoy that money. So it's the lowest standard of living. Yes or no? No peace. And then finally, no chance of going to Krishna. But a simple life, every chance of going to Krishna. So simple life is actually with the highest standard of living, with the possibility of going back to Krishna. In modern life, the lowest standard of living, and with no possibility of. That choice you have to make. Because high thinking can come only with simple living. Yes or no? High thinking. So we have to simplify ourselves, our lifestyle. And the simplification will come only when you perform Krishna conscious activities. Then Prabhupada Krishna says, Nitya Tripto, because satisfaction only can remove attachment. Right? Once you're satisfied, then you will not be attached with your assets. You will not hanker for the result. Correct? If you're dissatisfied, then you hanker for the result. Your attachment to the result is more intense. Yes or no, Sunil? If you're satisfied, there's no hankering for the result, no attachment to the result. And satisfaction comes only when? While performing Krishna conscious activities. Bhakti, Pareshan, Bhav, Virakti, Kalam, Shlok, Karate, Gita class. Satisfaction comes only when you perform devotional activities, otherwise no satisfaction in this material world. That's why everybody is still hankering for more. They're not satisfied. Hiranyakashipu was not satisfied. He became king of the three worlds. He is not satisfied. So once you are satisfied in your spiritual life, then only you can abandon attachment to your results. Otherwise, not possible. Otherwise, not possible. Nitya Tripto Nirashaya. All of us mentioned our assets, and we take shelter of our assets only. We have taken shelter of what? Our money, our family, and property, insurance policy. Nirashaya, a devotee doesn't take shelter of these things. Why? He thinks Krishna is going to protect me. He doesn't take shelter of material elements, assets. So he's not hankering to accumulate more and more. When there was this battle going on Kurukshetra, Bhishma Pitama declared, tomorrow I'll kill Arjuna. Yes. And Pandu also he said. Especially Arjuna, he said, I'll kill Arjuna tomorrow. He declared openly. And tell me if somebody is made aware that there's a declaration to kill you, and that too by Bhishma Pitama, can he sleep? Can he sleep in the night? And Arjuna is sleeping. Arjuna is sleeping. Then Krishna went, hey, how can you sleep? How can you sleep? And Krishna is roaming around here and there. What do I do to save him? Who is worried for Arjuna's protection? Not Arjuna. He said, this is your worry, not mine. This is your problem to protect me, not my problem. This is when you take shelter of Krishna. And what gives me confidence? He is the supreme power, most powerful, and he loves me. Two things can give you confidence. First, he's the most supreme, and second, he loves you. Suhrdo Sarva. He will never do anything which is not in my favor. That gives you confidence that Krishna will always. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Param Ishwar, plus Surdam Sarvabhuta. You combine kar. Then you will get confidence in Krishna. So anything happens in my life is a reflection of his mercy. I may not understand this. Reflection of his Nitya Tripta Nirashya. He doesn't take shelter of material assets. And always satisfied. Why is satisfied? He is 100% always remembering Krishna, because that gives satisfaction to mind and heart. Can money give satisfaction? Anyone on the screen? out of your experience? Money gives more you have, more you want. So actually, more money gives more dissatisfaction. More you have, more you want. That is how material works. So nobody said it. Maya makes richest person work more harder. Yeah, na? And the money says, if I had 15 more years, I would have done this, I would have done this, I would have done this. Not satisfied. Making sense or no? Anji? त्यक्त्वा कर्म फला आसंगम नित्यातित्तो निराशया कर्मणि अभिप्रतो नेवा किंचित करोति. So he performs everything based on his nature, pravati, but not attached to results, and hence it is inaction. It is not karma. Although engaged in all kinds of activity. Externally, it looks like he is going to his office, he is running his business, he is like doing everything. He is going to college to teach, but he is performing inaction. Why? Nitya tripta nirashaya. ये दो शब्द याद रखें. Nitya tripta and nirasha. He is ever satisfied and always having taken shelter of Krishna. Why taking shelter of Krishna? What is so special about Krishna? He is the most powerful and idols. He always thinks in favor of him. He doesn't take shelter of material elements, material opulence, material relationships. राखो भी मारो भी जो इच्छा है ना, मुझे बचाओ या मारो, whatever do, but at the end of the day I know whatever you do will be in my favor. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was a king, wonderful devotee of Krishna, Sankarshana. He saw the Sankarshana and he was going in his aeroplane. Then he saw Lord Shiva in Kailash. Lord Shiva and Parvati sitting on his lap, and he's giving lecture on renunciation. Two great sages like Narad Muni and all. किस भाषण दे रहे हैं? वैराग्य पे पत्नी को गोद में बिठा के. When Chitraketu saw this scene, he's talking about Vairagya because Shivji is a good friend of Chitraketu Maharaj. In a friendly manner, he joked. Vairagya में lecture दे रहे, पत्नी गोद में बिठा के. He didn't mean to undermine Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva didn't mind. He continued giving lecture, but Patni minded. The wife can insult, can I tolerate insult of her husband? है ना, जैसे दक्ष शिवा के एपिसोड में भी, it is Sati who could not tolerate. Shiva tolerated. Daksha, blasphemed Lord Shiva big time. So he didn't mind. He was engrossed remembering Krishna. And Sati said, no, it's not good. Similarly, Shiva is peaceful, but Parvati became restless. And in that agitated mind, she cursed Chitraketu. This is a demonic mentality. Next time you will take birth in demon's family. Curse de diya. And Chitraketu Maharaj, okay mother, whatever it is, I'll accept. He said this and Rakho bhi, Maro bhi, jo ichha. And Bhagavatam says he had the ability to curse Parvati back, but he did not. He accepted. He accepted as whatever, will of the God, Hari Ichha. And next life he became Vratasura. He became what? Vratasura. He became a demon. And there was a fight between Vratasura and Indra. Dhritarashtra died and he directly went to spiritual world. So this was Krishna's plan to accumulate all his previous karmic reactions, made him take birth as a demon, destroy all his karmic reactions, and get him back to spiritual world. So you don't know, you can't understand what is Krishna's arrangement to get you back. So in all situations, good or bad, one thing we should never forget is our sadhana or remembering Krishna. Any bad situation in life is an opportunity to intensify our devotion. To intensify our devotion, not leave our devotion. Okay. So the essence of today's word says, what is the essence that? Sorry, Shastru. What is the essence of today's words?
That we should not be attached to the results of our actions. हिंदी में को सेंटेंस आप पे याद रहा था हरी इच्छा और हरी कृपा का whatever we think good we are getting is Hari Kripa and whatever we are getting. So he knows best for us.
Yes, he knows the best. Anyone on the screen? Sorry, I didn't ask you to share realizations about the activity we did. Anyone would like to share? Pradeep Prabhu, your realizations? Unmute Kiji, sorry. Yes, now you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So today's realization, very important realization is Nitya Tripto Nirashra. Always be satisfied without owning anything. Keep on doing whatever you want. Don't expect anything and be always satisfied. Right?
Yes.
This is my realization.
Thank you very much, folks. Wonderful.
And Prabhuji, and one more thing I wanted to add. I remembered one example. You gave one example like Brahmana and prostitute went to market. So a similar example I remembered, so that I want to share with all devotees and with you. So and there was a wealthy house, and that landlady, they have a maid. So maid's daughter was getting married. So the wealthy lady went to the sari shop और वहां जाके बोलती है मेरी नौकरानी के बच्चे की शादी एक छोटी मोटी साड़ी देना, राइट? फिर थोड़े दिन बाद में उस मालकिन की बेटी की शादी होती है, तो नौकरानी दुकान पे जाती है और मेरे मालकिन की बेटी की शादी है, सबसे बढ़िया कोई शादी है, राइट सर? So I found it similar example, right?
Consciousness
So
is very important.
Yes, consciousness.
And the purpose of Krishna consciousness is to basically attain that purified consciousness. You know? So if you are able to purify, that's why, what is austerity? Austerity means tapasya. Like if one is sick, right? Doctor asks him to eat some medicine and not to eat few things. परहेज करना है और कुछ दवाई खाने का. Two things doctor will prescribe. One is medicine and second is what do you call, what you should abstain from. Similarly, whatever tapasya we do in spiritual life is to get rid of the material disease we have of enjoyment, of ownership, of mastership. It's a material disease. So if you are asked to chant, chanting is like a medicine, right? And 4 regular principles are like parhej. If you do these 2 things, it'll purify consciousness very, very fast, very quickly. And we don't have time. The purpose of doing the exercise was, now whatever time has gone is gone. We cannot bring it back. But whatever time we have, the same realization we should apply, right? Like, Shivani Mati said, if I'm given this chance again, I'll divide my day into 8, 8, 8. 8 hours I'll give to Krishna, 8 hours to my body, 8 hours to my work. So why can't we apply this realization now onwards, from today onwards? Thinking that I've got now birth again with full knowledge, full realization. Let me use the time most optimally now going forward. Thank you, Pradeep. Gaurav Prabhu, you want to share something?
Hello. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Uh, am I audible now?
Yes, please go ahead.
So yeah, what I understood that okay, we are like as until we are not conscious, we are attracting towards the materialistic thing, and it is giving us a pleasure. But once we are in the right track and what I can say, we are in the conscious state. We will get a pleasure when we chant or yeah, worship the God and all that things, and that will automatically take away from the this materialistic world and materialistic things.
Yes. So everything is temporary in this material world. And one day we have to,
Yeah,
lose
because
everything.
because what we are what we are going to take once we die, and we can die any time and like any day. We don't know that day, so we will take our karmas and our worship only what we have
Yes.
done
Yes.
in our
Thank
life.
you. Thank you very
And
much. Thank you. Yes, Akant Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just one realization that I had, Prabhuji, is actually all of us are very rich, right? Because we all came empty-handed as a subtle body. And as you rightly said, even when we go back, right, the only thing that we will take is the time spent remembering Krishna or doing anything good deeds. That's the only thing that we will carry forward, right? So everything that we actually made the balance sheet of right now, we got when we came here, and we leave it when we go from here, right? So in fact, if you look at it, everything is a bonus, right? So whatever we get is actually a bonus, and we should be thankful and satisfied with it, because neither did we bring anything nor did we carry forward anything, right? So from that perspective, either somebody is very rich or less rich, or yes or no, but everybody is rich from that perspective, because
Yes.
all
That's
of this
another good.
existed here, all of this will ever exist here only, right? None of us are going to carry this anything anywhere.
Yes. Thank you very much. Anyone else like to share? And last realization, then we close. Anil Vyas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, the realization was almost similar to what has come in recent comments of all devotees. So I didn't chose for the last comment, but I have been given this chance. So just sharing my thoughts that when you told that when you got separated out of your subtle body, and I was just thinking it off for a moment. So I just would able to do only one thing at that point of time was I was just continue my remembrance. Nothing else I can do at that time. And I was remembering that the only thing I am carrying with me is the the consciousness which I was having the last moment I was getting in the world. So I lost everything when what was I calculated during the point it was given on the pointer. So everything was lost. The only one thing which I was having is I can continue to name. And the name which I continued that moment at the subtle body's level. So to my surprise, I was just sitting in front of you and sitting in front of God. So the memory was going like that only. And I was very peaceful that I was continuing the name of Krishna only. So it was the actual realization that if that continued for a remain period of lifetime, I think we can be spared out of it.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you very much. Pallavi Gulati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, one
First of all,
realization.
congratulations for doing 16 rounds today. Well done.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Unmute yourself. You're muted again.
Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
So one realization from today's class, which the last line which you said that you should intensify your sadhana. So living in this material world, we always think कि हमने इतनी पूजा करी, इतना ये कुछ किया, and we are not getting, and again we are not getting what we want, and still something bad is happening to me or bad is happening to us. So today, after listening this lesson, that we can take it as an opportunity. So that word opportunity and intensify hit me hard, and it is such a great feeling to know that we can take that as an opportunity to increase our sadhana. So this is the key learning that if we are in the bad phase or in the bad time, we can increase our learnings, increase our sadhana, and intensify our sadhana.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. बहुत अच्छा. So please meditate on this verse for next 1 week at least, till we meet again next Sunday. Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you very much, everyone.